Hi guys, it's Ashley. Welcome to my channel if you're new. Welcome back if you're a subscriber. This is my April currently read slash currently reading. Let's get right into it. At the beginning of the month, I read A Walk to Remember by Nicholas Sparks. I gave this 4 stars. I read this because I really love the movie. I would suggest if you're into romance, you want to cry your eyes out, go watch the movie. This is the first time I've ever read an adaptation, like a read and watched an adaptation where I couldn't tell you which one was better. I loved it. This tells the story of Landon Carter, who is now in old age, and he is telling you about the year of 1958, his last year of high school, when he fell in love and how it changed his life forever. Then I read, I'm going to hold up one to represent them all, but I read 1 through 4 of Chew, the graphic novel series by Robert Layman, Robert Layman, John Layman, and Rob Guillory. I gave volume 1 3 stars, and the remaining 3 volumes 4 stars. Chew follows Detective Tony Chew, who is a psychopath, which means that he can consume things and get psychic visions. For example, he can bite into an apple and tell you which orchard it was picked from, who picked it, what time, and if there was any pesticides used in treating the apple. And he is recruited by the FDA because in this world, chicken is illegal and there's a lot of crime centered around selling and consuming chicken. And it is a really good series. I'm currently on 5, volume 5. I would recommend it to you because it just gets better and better with each passing volume. And try to find some nice artwork. I love the artwork. I've grown to love it. Oftentimes it's dark. This one's pretty bright, but it's usually dark, but it's a dark story, so it works. Then I read Bird Box by Josh Malerman. I read this because Lala over at Books and Lala really liked this one. It's a horror novel about a world where everybody is blind because there is something in the outside world where if you see it, it causes you to kill people and kill yourself. I would have given this 5 stars had the story been told like from when the thing first popped up instead of being told in a past and present, because the present was really boring. Literally, our main character, mm, I forgot her name. Our main character and her children are in a boat going down the river. So not much happens in the present. Everything happens in the past. And oftentimes it would take me out of the story. So I wish it would have just been told from the beginning when this mysterious thing started causing people to go crazy. But overall, it was very atmospheric. I was scared. There were times when I was like, my heart was like racing while reading it. So I would recommend it. Next, I read Dumpling in preparation for Pudding, which comes out on the 8th. Dumpling tells the story of Willow Dean, who is plus size. She's always been confident, and then she gets the attention of a boy at her work, and she starts to doubt herself. And she decides that go, she's going to enter into her town's pageant to gain her self confidence back. And it is soon to be a movie. I can't wait for it. I loved it still. It held up, and I can't wait for Pudding. Then I listened to the audiobook of Illuminae, Book 1 in the Illuminae Files by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I would recommend listening to the audiobook. It is a full cast. There's music, sound effects. It gave me heavy, heavy Star Wars vibes personally. I loved it. And I wish that the whole trilogy was just surrounding Caddy and Ezra, but it's not. Every book focuses on a different like couple because I really love the personalities of Caddy and Ezra. I felt like they really felt like Amy and Jay's personalities, and I definitely recommend the audiobook. And I gave that 5 stars. Then I read In Conclusion, Don't Worry About It by Lauren Graham, and this was a novelization of her commencement speech for her alma mater. And I liked the advice that she gave about enjoying the small moments in life because most of our life is going to consist of small moments. We're not going to have these big, huge, defining moments every day. So we need to learn to sit back and enjoy those small moments. What I wish is that we would have gotten more. Like, I wish it would have been like We Should All Be Feminists, where she took her TED talk and then she went into more detail in the book. This one had a lot of drawings that, while cute, they had nothing to do with her speech. And that room could have been used to, like, give us more insight into what she was thinking when she wrote the speech or something. They were just annoying. I wish they weren't there. I gave that 4 stars. Then I listened to the Subtle Art of Not Giving a Beat, a counterintuitive approach to living a good life by Mark Manson. I recommend this book for everyone. It's modern. He does cuss a lot, but he has valid points, and I think it works for anybody, no matter what stage you are in life. If you're getting out of high school, going to college, if you're switching careers, if you're in between jobs, if you're in a slump in your life, it's motivation. And I think he gives it to you real and raw. And I liked it. And I gave it 4 stars. Then I listened to the audiobook for Clockwork Angel, Book One in the Infernal Devices by Cassandra Clare, and this is for my year of Cassandra Clare. I did not expect to like this book as much as I did. I gave it 4 stars. I've tried to read this 3 times before, and even listening to the audiobook, it took me like 120 pages to get into it. But boy, can Cassandra Clare write fighting scenes and write twists. I literally, when I finished the book, my mouth was hanging open, and I can't wait for um, the next Clockwork Prince. This next one pains me because if you saw my most anticipated releases of 2018, you know that this one was number one. I was super excited for it. I love the I love Simon Versus. But this one disappointed me, and that's Leon the Offbeat by Becky Albertalli. I gave it 1 star. 1 star. This follows Leah, who is one of Simon's best friends and best friend. And it is the senior year. I will be doing a video on this one. So I'm gonna move along. The last book that I read this month is Ship It by Britta London, and I received this book from NetGalley in exchange for an honest review, and I gave it 4 stars. I really love it. It was a brutally honest look into fandoms, fan culture. It was so realistic. I've experienced like so much of like what this book delves into. The book is focused on 2 people. Claire, who is a fangirl of this show called Demon Heart, and I call it the equivalent of Shadowhunters and Teen Wolf. And she writes she's a popular fan fiction writer for a non-canon ship called Smokeheart, and she asks a question at a convention. It causes like a media like firestorm, and she ends up going on tour with the cast, like to different conventions. And then we have Forrest, who is one half of the non canon ship, and he is an actor having to struggle with his identity within the fandom. And it delves into how sometimes we can be, as fans, we can be a little bit too passionate to the point of crossing the line and the repercussions that happen because of it, and how kind of a look into how maybe Hollywood views fandoms and people who ship. And it was just so honest. I loved it. It comes out on May the 8th. And let's get to my currently reading pal. So I'm currently reading Tyler Johnson Was Here by J. Coles. This tells the story of Marvin, whose twin brother Tyler goes missing at a party, and he's on a journey to find out what happened to him. As I mentioned earlier, I'm currently in the middle of the Chew graphic novel series. Because I Loved Piecing Me Together by Renee Watson. Please read that if you have not. Please read it. It is amazing. I had to get This Side of Home, which is all about gentrification. Probably butchered that. And how it affects people who are living in the neighborhoods, communities that you try to gentrify. And I'm reading A Girl Like That by Tasnim Bethina. I'm super excited about this because when I learned about it on Goodreads, the main character of this story is dead when we meet her. And it's all about oppression and gender and race and class and identity. And it's through the eyes of this teenage rebellion girl who feels like alienated from the world. I can't wait to dig into it. So that is all for my currently read slash currently reading for April. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to, you can follow me on all of my social medias, which are always linked in the description down below. And YouTube has now made it official. If you want to see my face in your subscription box and be notified when I upload new content, you have to hit that subscribe button and you have to hit the bell button beside it, because that is the only way that will happen. And as always, until we meet again,